Hello crafty friends, I'm Lean from Studio Kato and I'm so happy to join you again today on the Reverse Confetti YouTube channel. I am back with another rainbow Easter card, my favorites, and I'm using the Easter cover panel die set from Reverse Confetti, and I'm also using the Eggstra cover panel by Reverse Confetti. And this video actually I planned to make 3 cards, but I ran out of time because I got sick. So you're only seeing the easiest card to make. This one only took me 20 minutes to put together, and I could have done it quicker, but I like to take my time for things. This is a really easy thing to do, but it's a really fun way to step up your dies or stencils. And it's the first thing I thought of when I saw this Eggstra cover panel. So I am using the Eggstra cover panel as a stencil, and I'm working on that scalloped panel that I die cut from craft cardstock, and that is die cut with the Easter cover panel die set. So many cover panels in this video. But I am first blending on these eggs with some white pigment ink. This is the Hero Hues by Hero Arts. It's something with unicorn in the name, you know, the white pigment ink from Hero Arts. And I blended it on. The stencil I made is just some glossy cardstock. It is really cheap cardstock. It's actually patterned paper. There's a pattern on the back of it, well, on the front of it. I'm using it as a back, but it's just glossy enough that I can even clean it off with a really gentle spritz of water, which is perfect because you don't want that white pigment ink to mix with your dye inks. And I am going to use dye inks now. So I am offsetting that stencil a little bit. So I'm putting that back over those white eggs that I blended on, but I'm offsetting it a little bit because now I want to add the color. And there's a really cool thing that happens when you blend over white pigment ink with dye inks if you are working on darker colored cardstock, and that is you create a shadow. So wherever the colored inks are just directly on the darker cardstock, you will create a shadow. You won't really see the colors that much. You will just create a darker outline. And then everywhere the colored ink, the dye ink, is sitting on top of the white pigment ink, you will get the true colors of the ink, or well, closer to the true colors. You won't get the super vibrant colors you normally get, but they're still pretty vibrant. I'm always surprised. Every single time I'm surprised at how vibrant these turn out. Now, if you die cut this cover panel, actually, the Eggstra cover panel, for your stencil from some decent cardstock, you can definitely use that leftover inky goodness for another card. I just didn't think of it. Should have definitely done that because it was gorgeous with all that rainbow on there. But there you can see some of my eggs already, the rainbow eggs. I added a dash line, just a dash line outline with a white Posca paint marker. You can definitely use a white gel pen. I have kind of abandoned my white gel pen for this Posca paint marker. It is really opaque. It always writes instantly, so it's a lot less fuss for me. Now I also die cut that Happy Easter sentiment, which comes with the Easter cover panel die set. And I die cut that 4 times out of a thick white cardstock and 1 time from somewhat off-white cardstock. It's just watercolor cardstock. So it's a little off-white, but it goes a lot better with the craft cardstock, I find. Now all that's left to do is put this card together, and for that I need my card base. I cut this card base down a little bit, so I have pre-made card bases. But I cut this one down a little bit so it could fit behind the scallops of the scallop panel, and it wouldn't show, the white wouldn't show behind that craft cardstock, which is what I prefer to do when I have these large shaped edges on my card panel. Does that make sense? So I just want the true shape of that large die. If it's almost card size, it just makes more sense for me that it's the actual shape of the card and there's not a little piece of rectangle still showing through. So I'm just gluing on that sentiment now. I'm using the Barely Art Precision Craft glue. My label from the glue was getting a little bit too dirty, so I just pulled it off. But I've been using this bottle for a while now, so that's why it's not labeled, but it's still definitely that glue. Once that's all in place, you can see that this is a really simple card. So I did want to add a really subtle touch of bling, just a little something, but nothing too overpowering. I really like clean and simple designs, so I didn't want to do too much to this, but I can't resist a little bling these days. So I'm using the Majestic Confetti by Studio Katja. These are confetti, not sequins, so there's no hole in them, which I prefer. And I'm gluing those with Nuvo Deluxe adhesive onto my card. Now, sorry for that camera shake there. I should have cut that out. Don't know why I didn't catch that before doing the voiceover, but I am just going to fold a matching envelope with the We Are Memory Keepers 123 punch board, and I'm just using some bright, fun pattern paper for that. So this is some bright pink cardstock with some polka dots on it, and on the inside there's some beautiful spring blooms, and I just really like some bright floral envelopes or some bright colored envelopes for my spring cards. I've been doing those for a lot of my Easter cards, even if they don't perfectly fit my design of the card. Sometimes a matching envelope doesn't have to match perfectly, it just has to be a fun touch to put in the mail. Now, I really like how this card turned out. It's super simple. I love simple cards that I can pull together really quickly. But like I said, I have at least 2 more card designs planned using this Eggstra cover panel, and I can't wait to show you those in next week's video. So they're going to be completely different, but they're also going to be really simple to do and really fun. So these are some ways to stretch your cover dies, and that's what you have to look forward to on the Reverse Confetti YouTube channel. So I would definitely love to see you again next week with those cards, but I also have another video coming up this week, I think. I'm pretty sure I do. YouTube planning is a little bit weird for me. It's planning in the future while talking in the future. It doesn't make sense. I can't wrap my head around it. But I hope to see you for the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!